He can punch. He's a knockout artist. He closes. He finishes. Once he smells blood, he's like a shark in blood-infested waters, Molly. He will finish you, okay? And by the way, he is an elite boxer.
He has a way, as all successful fighters do, of landing his shots. And he's got like stone. It's like he got bricks in his hand.
Stephen Smith is rejecting all the massive hype regarding the possible match between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis. Smith says exactly what he feels, portraying Tank Davis as the type of brawler who thrives on pure chaos and never actually loses his focus once the action starts. In Smith's view, the minute Tank steps inside those ropes, he is never worried about lasting 12 rounds or seeking a judge's scorecard. He enters that ring with one goal.
For legitimate fight purposes, Gervonta Davis, to me, is the #1 attraction in boxing. He's the #1 attraction in boxing. He will finish you. Yeah. He will close. And this brother comes, and he's one of those guys. They call him, the mini Mike, as a Mike Tyson. Yeah. He's willing to take a punch to give it now. Yeah. And I haven't seen him hurt. He got bruised. Yep. He might have bruises, but I ain't seen nobody wobble him. I ain't seen anybody hurt.
At the same time, Max Kellerman builds the scene by analyzing one of boxing's most intriguing stylistic clashes. On one end stands the tactical boxer-puncher, and on the other is the persistent pressure warrior who refuses to retreat. Kellerman explains why this bout feels uniquely special, labeling it a true collision between two undefeated elite stars competing at the total peak of their skills, where every round could...
One guy comes right at you, wants you to stay there. The other guy just wants to stay there so you can come at him. The fastball pitcher against a fastball hitter. Whose stuff is going to win, right? They're all different kinds of fights. The great pressure fighter against the boxer puncher. Right. I had you watch Chavez and Rosario, that was right? A great one. Yes, the classy boxer puncher wants to set you up with a jab and can knock down a building with his right hand against the guy who's got to navigate that danger zone to get inside and tear him up. There are all these. The highest level of fight in boxing is the two all-time greats, or the two guys who are the two of the best fighters in boxing.
That conversation then moves toward Gervonta Davis's entire professional record. Certain skeptics claim that his path was precisely handled, stating many rivals were picked to defend his perfect status rather than offering the hardest available tests. Others quickly dismiss such critiques, arguing they become totally irrelevant when that initial bell sounds, since Tank has that sort of lethal one-hit power able to destroy each...
A lot of Tank the interest in Tank was generated because you know what you see. You know he's a special talent. But the fact is, his resume was highly, let's say, curated.
Come on,
he fought smaller guys who couldn't punch.
Santa Cruz.
Right, exactly.
And knocked them cold out.
Right, knocked them out. The way he did it.
Don't matter. That don't matter? He knocked them cold out.
You a trainer saying that. That's terrible. That is an old trick. That's an old trick promoters use when you want to build up a puncher. You bring a name guy up a division or two who's not a puncher and let the puncher look really...
This argument rapidly grows more fierce as focus shifts toward scheduling. Several start wondering if this massive main event still holds the high level it once guaranteed. While almost everyone admits that Shakur Stevenson shows world-class defensive mastery, views widely differ on whether Davis's recent absence and some less impressive showings have slowly changed the balance, making Tank a man trying to prove himself rather...
Let me say something. Here's the best argument against Shakur, Tank versus Garcia and Haney.
Okay.
In a way, it's a little bit past its due date, because I think, whereas once upon a time, real boxing heads would have all taken Shakur, but a lot of the public who was enamored with the punchers would have taken Tank. Mm-hmm. I think Tank has been inactive long enough now and struggled against Roach to the point where maybe it's not seen as competitive as it once was. So it's a little bit past where we want to see
it. Out a bit.
I never thought.
Where's Haney Ryan? Do you know who wins?
Right. That might be the winning argument.
Lastly, Malik Scott and Lushan Shady McCoy analyze exactly how they imagine this bout will develop. One person claims that Davis's physical skills, title experience, and great ring smarts would eventually act as the main keys. McCoy, though, asks what truly marks Tank apart from many other talented stars fighting nowadays. The reply arrives fast, Tank's innate skill has never been doubted, even though some critics keep thinking his giant reputation was built via safely picked matchmaking rather than always meeting.
My thing, it's not about Tank.
Yeah, but the man been inactive.
Big dog. But it's not even that. But I just want you, right? Because you still haven't done it. Like, what has he done in the ring? I'm being serious here. He hasn't really fought anybody.
Well,
The witness will answer the question. The witness will answer the question.
Ryan Garcia, Barrios, anybody they put him in there with, he got highlight reels.
Straight face. Come on, man. Tank is a superior athlete. He has real punching power. He has fast hands, and he has a high boxing IQ.
When you get inactive, people forget. Let's get back in line.
Canelo also shares his candid thought on this amazing stylistic battle, giving both boxers the praise they earn. He hails Shakur Stevenson's footwork and high defensive craft, saying he is among the hardest guys to hit cleanly. Yet when the moment arrives to pick a victor, Canelo never wavers, choosing Gervonta, Tank, Davis due to his constant physical aggression and lethal.
In the fight was Gervonta Davis against Shakur Stevenson. Who would you say would win?
Look, Shakur Stevenson is a good fighter. He moves a lot, and it's very difficult to get hit, to hit him. But I like Gervonta Davis.
Okay.
He's a really good fighter. He hits hard, and he knows how to go forward. So I put my money on.
Roy Jones Jr. then provides his own view, and he chooses Shakur Stevenson for this fight. His logic relates back to discipline, the sort that appears during training camp and stays present away from the gym as well. Roy thinks that focus and professionalism outside of competition could become the major factor in such an evenly matched bout. To him, that grit absolutely matters much more than...
Who wins that fight right now, in your opinion?
Right now, Shakur wins it because of his discipline. Because he showed against Teofimo that he can stay very disciplined all night. And he's the type of guy, he don't really do a lot of crazy stuff in his life normally. So it's like discipline is a thing that is not only exercised inside the ring, it's exercised also outside the ring. And as we see, sometimes Gervonta has problems with discipline. But we have never seen Shakur have problems with discipline. We've seen him be more disciplined at the right times than we've seen him not have discipline.
Still, Roy is not counting Gervonta Davis out. He swiftly notes to everyone that a truly focused Tank offers something very few boxers have, innate talent that immediately makes him a scary rival for whoever stands across the ring. Ignoring discipline, Roy claims that when Tank hits that aggressive switch, betting against him today is surely one of the most risky acts.
Like it is right now, I would lean towards Shakur because of his discipline, but don't get it twisted. If somebody could beat him, Tank Davis would be that person because of his intangibles. When Tank is discipline and got his mind on right, Tank's a problem for anybody. Tank can fight better than most people think he can. It's just that sometimes his outside antics get the better of him, and it make people think less of him, but don't underestimate Tank Davis. If Tank is motivated and ready to fight, Tank is a problem for him.
Terrence Crawford also offers a fair view. He eventually selects Shakur Stevenson while still giving Tank Davis total respect as one of boxing's most lethal punchers. Crawford notes his regard for Tank's power never alters his choice. He simply thinks Shakur is the boxer he sees winning. This isn't critique of Davis's skill, he says, just his candid thought of how the contest works now.
Obviously, your little brother, you know what I'm saying, Shakur, that's the fight. Everybody want to see that. That's the 50-50, I think, you know what I'm saying? I've been saying 50-50. I told both of them that. That's a toss-up to me. No bias. Don't just say that because it's your man. Who you got winning that?
I got Shakur.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Like, boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
we gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented.
Crawford grows that thought by making one vital point. He thinks Gervonta Davis simply cannot find the open targets he often relies on. He describes Shakur Stevenson's guard as very steady and quite hard to break through. Crawford notes that Tank's famous power hits will be much tougher to connect than many assume. Even great hitting strength, he thinks, means very little indeed if there is never a fair open spot.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that. He knows that. That's why he's like, he's boring. He's this, he's that. He's trying to diminish everything that Shakur have done, so it's not marketable. But he can't do that because Shakur is what, 3-way world champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you see right now.
like how many actual real titles have Shakur? I mean, Tank had.
Finishing up his views, Terrence Crawford stays totally frank, saying Shakur Stevenson might yet take some big blows very soon before truly finding into his flow. He broadens the debate to rising names like Keyshawn Davis too, claiming that top-tier young boxers should be tested right now before they hit their full physical prime and turn nearly impossible to defeat. Wait way long, he says, and that chance.
Listen, Tank get hits a lot. Tank, in my eyes, Tank is always losing until he's not.
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah.
If you watch those fights.
Well, at least in the early rounds. Middle rounds, he start coming up, but I see what you're saying. Them early rounds, yeah.
Let Keyshawn start hitting them like everybody else hitting them. Let him start hitting them with everybody else, like everybody else hitting them.
Yeah.
Man, he gonna clean them. He punches too sharp.
Sean Porter swiftly argues against the notion that this bout finishes in theater style within only a few frames. He cites Shakur Stevenson's solid history as a clever master and a 2016 Olympic silver winner as great factors to anticipate a skilled chess game rather than a simple knockout tale. Talent, Porter says, earns every bit as much credit as pure punching.
I said everybody thinks that Tank is gonna go in there and just knock out Shakur. It's gonna
That's not gonna happen.
But it didn't take. It shouldn't have taken this fight.
I knew he couldn't.
For people to realize that. Right.
I knew that too. But yeah, Shakur is a defensive specialist.
And I've been saying this for a long time. If you pay attention to how Tank would react whenever Shakur's name came up, I was like, yo, it's something that Tank knows that most people don't know or understand. There's something that he sees in Shakur. It could be the fact that Shakur was a 2016 silver medalist. You know,
he's got a lot to do with it.
He's that, the silver child of the.
Porter then makes a link certain to ignite big talk, comparing this likely fight to the famous Wilder versus Fury feud. His point is that Davis gets clearly annoyed whenever he cannot land the ending hit, and that anger compels him to use technical boxing talents he has seldom been asked to show earlier. It is a bold link, but Porter surely thinks the traits are impossible to overlook. Porter keeps pushing.
Come across Shakur Stevenson, I'm gonna say it here on the front page, and Tank, I love you, brother, and still would love to talk to you.
100.
But when you get in there with Shakur, it's gonna remind me of Deontay Wilder fighting Tyson Fury.
Ooh. Yeah.
Because what you gonna do when you come across a motherfucker you can't knock out? Only thing you gonna do is just get more frustrated.
That's a terrible analogy.
I'm just saying.
Only reason why I'm saying it's a terrible analogy is because Tank Davis. Remember, you've heard Coach Cal say this all the time. He says it's the same thing, and I know exactly what he means. We just waiting on somebody to pull it out of him. You ever hear?
Mike Tyson speaks quite clearly when the talk turns toward Gervonta Davis, calling him simply as one of boxing's most lethal gifted powers. Tyson asks whether anyone in that class actually has the total craft set needed to stand calmly inside the ring near him, noting the massive fear Davis builds before the first bell even rings. Very few boxers, Tyson says, stay totally unswayed by that scary aura alone.
Get from Tank, you're gonna see IQ. We saw IQ, but to me, it was low IQ because. The reason why it was low IQ is because everybody followed the script. And what I mean by that is you see somebody's IQ take place when a fighter makes an adjustment and now you have to adjust to what that fighter is doing. And that's kind of where you see
who's smart and
you know what I mean?
Who get a hold of it.
I think my fight with Terrence shows a very high level of IQ from both of us. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's what Tank is going to do with your.
Mike Tyson then turns the talk by noting just how tiring it is to look across the ring at Shakur Stevenson. He states that constant motion is truly vital, noting that the moment any boxer starts pausing, doubting, or simply gazing instead of moving, Stevenson takes total power and ruins them bit by bit with skill. Tyson makes it very clear that stalling is the one error that nearly always turns out bad.
He's a great fighter. Especially when he's serious about it. I don't know if he's as serious as he used to be. But when he was serious, he was a hell of a fighter. Nobody came close. He's the only one I gave a chance against. Shakur. Shakur and that guy, Keyshawn Davis, they're scary fighters too because they're sophisticated. The other guy's sophisticated than me, but Tank is just a force of nature. You know, you just gotta give him the credit. You know, even though he's talking shit and stuff, he sees the.
Gervonta Davis firmly denies the rising idea that Shakur Stevenson will be the hardest rival of his whole career. He mainly blasts Stevenson's guard style, saying he has never seen him really dodge hits, and even says their gym rounds never offered him any to fear about. Hearing from Davis, you might feel those frames barely gave Stevenson enough glory to make the fight feel even.
If Shakur handles this guy like he did Lopez, I'm gonna say the hell with him. I'm gonna say the hell with Shakur, man. If he just handles this guy like he's, I'm the hell with him.
No, Mike,
somebody gotta give him a fight though, but you gotta be very sophisticated to know how to fight. This is when I know you lost against Shakur. This is when I know you lost. You see when he does this stuff? Once you start doing this stuff and looking at him, oh, it's over. You got constant action, motion, constant motion again. You gotta be on him constantly. Once you start looking at him and doing that, he ain't dead.
Gervonta Davis also notes why this giant event has still not come true. He puts the fault mostly on boxing business instead of dread or doubt. Per Davis, many of Stevenson's loud words are not quite his own, claiming Floyd Mayweather is guiding the story in the dark while